Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM, you're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. It is our first podcast of February. And does anyone know, did the groundhog see his shadow or no? Yes. So we're in for more of the fabulous weather. I'm done. That's it. Cut the podcast. I'm out. No, I'm tired of the winter. I'm not a winter weather person. My driveway is still a solid sheet of ice from like 2 weeks ago. And I'm not even gonna lie, I slid down it day before yesterday and I thought maybe I had broken something. So Autumn is here with us today, our lovely events assistant and membership, and she's laughing at me. So thanks a lot. Although I know the image of me falling on my butt on the driveway is probably pretty funny. But it's I'm trying to get myself. We have with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, we have a lot of things coming up. So I'm trying to gear myself towards a lot of those events, because a lot of them start in April, May, and it's starting to get nicer, and I can't get there yet. I'm just still sitting here and it's cold and I'm not thrilled. So anyway, well, we are going to be joined today at some point by the and I can't even say chief anymore. He's not Chief Todd Foreman. Yesterday was his last day here at the town of Bedford as the police chief, and he is coming on the show today. We just want to chat a little bit with him about, his past job being the chief, what life's looking like moving forward, and just to give him some credit and some appreciation for all that he did the past couple of years for us with the events that we've done here in the town of Bedford, and been fabulous to work with. So he'll be sliding on in here in just a little bit, hopefully. And we figure first day of retirement. He's already late. He's sleeping in. I know what he's doing. But and then I'm also here in the studio. I have one of our members, and she's going to be joining us with a pop-up event soon, and which is tomorrow with Prissy Nerd. And how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
So I'm just going to say, first and foremost, a lot of our members with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, I think a lot of people think you have to have a brick and mortar, a storefront to be successful, and to be part of a membership-based organization such as ours. So not true. Nope. False advertising. But for us, we service any business, from the entrepreneur to the artisan, the crafter, even those in the direct sales avenue that a lot of people say are not true business owners. I hear that all the time, which again, false, to those that have brick and mortar stores. So I met Tamara, a little over a year ago now?
Yeah, a little over a year ago.
Yes. And so we're going to be talking about the things that she makes, and they are wonderful. And I'm going to have her send you to how you can, if you're listening, how you can order. Because I know you do. Gosh, you work all over you have people buy stuff from you all over the country.
I do, actually. The furthest I've shipped away is California. However, we are actually going into some brick and mortar stores as wholesale in South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. And, of course, we have several locations that carry our products in Virginia as well. So,
okay, that's exciting. That's exciting news. I did not know that. Yay. Congrats.
This is new stuff.
Congrats. Breaking news here on Talk Local to Me. So, but I met you through the Gauntlet program, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because I know that's starting back up. I think they had their first session yesterday, and I know I have some of my members that are going through that again this year. And, but I wanted to kind of talk with you first off and foremost about Prissy Nerd. And, first of all, how did the name come about? I want to know, I need to know, Prissy Nerd. How did that come about?
Well, I'm less prissy with a Y and more of a Priss nerd.
Yes.
I'm a little bit of Priss and a whole lot of nerd. That's what I tell everyone, and they're kind of satisfied with that answer. But really, basically, what it means is I didn't want to pigeonhole myself as a business. When my business started, I bet you'll never guess what I started making to start with.
Okay, hold on. Did it have to do with like the name? The name helped me out with that? Okay, never mind then.
Well,
Because I was thinking something to do with like glasses or something. Because like you got like the nerd part, and like people always. No offense to anyone out there with glasses, you're not nerds. You're fabulous. But okay, moving forward.
So as I was going to all these cons and all these different events, that people typically classify as nerdish, I was like, I don't see any really prissy stuff for little girls. When I was little, I was like, that would have been so cool if I had, a really cool R2-D2 dress or, something like that. And I'm like, they don't really make those things. And so originally I started out making tutus.
Okay.
Tutus and
I don't see it, but okay.
And hair accessories. They were a lot of fun, and I created beautiful things. But honestly, I started creating those things as therapy for PTSD. I spent 20 years as a paramedic firefighter. And I needed a change of pace, and it didn't start out as a career. However, my craft business didn't start out as my career. It started out as my therapy. And so as I continued to make things, I went through all of the things. You name it, at one point I probably have made it until I found something that I really enjoyed. But throughout my business, my common theme and where the real prissy nerd comes from is as I was going to these different events, because, I would go to the cons, but I would also go to, a farmer's market craft fair. Everyone, when they would walk by my table, no matter what it was, they would gasp and they say, oh, you have whatever it is that they're passionate about.
Yes.
And so when I use the term nerd, the things that I consider, I'm considered to be passionate about might be nerdish, sci-fi, reading, history. But, my friend, my very close friend, and I were having this discussion about a Jeopardy episode where all the contestants were silent and not buzzing because it was like 2 whole categories of sports questions. And I'm like, who knows those things? She said, I did.
Right.
And I'm like, you call me a nerd. No. That's something a little bit different. So anyway, all of these people that are really passionate about different things, that's what we try to evoke in people is whatever they're passionate about. So
I'm going to just say the inner nerd in me, whenever I visit Tamara's booth, is definitely Harry Potter. She knows she's like, I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I love everything to do with him. So I got I think I have 5 or 6 earrings you've made. I have the little witch's hat. I have Dobby. I have an owl. I have the Slytherin, the little snake thing. So I love all the different, and you're right. When you visit your booth, it is definitely something kind of for everyone. I could spend more than just a glance. Some people you just walk in, you glance and you're like, okay. Yours, I'm immersed in everything you do and all the detail you put into it. And it's awesome. So, yeah.
So now we primarily make earrings. I found what I really love to do. However, we do other little side projects as well. And so primarily we make lightweight wood, leather, and acrylic earrings that are the thing that's special about those, and I guess that's why we're also special as well, is that we upcycle it from a local furniture maker and cabinet maker scraps. So we kind of have a commitment to being as green as we possibly can. It started out as me being cheap, but honestly, it's really not that much cheaper, especially now that I'm producing larger volume of it and need bigger pieces. But it's just something that we started out doing, and we were like, this is a good thing, so we're going to continue doing that.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm not 100% sure I'm correct, so you can fact check me. You can say, no, Heather, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But am I right in that you have sold earrings to Paula Deen or made the earrings for Paula Deen?
It was not Paula Deen.
Okay.
It's actually Brenda Gant.
Okay. I knew I was wrong. But I knew it was something to do with the baker.
Yes. I call her the quarantine internet sensation, but she's fabulous. If you haven't checked out Brenda Gant, Cooking with Brenda Gant, you should. But I did make her a couple of pair of earrings, and so you can see some of those in some of her videos. But that's probably the most famous person I've made them for, and originally didn't know I was making them for. But we have all of our products have traveled to multiple states. Last year, we really started our focus on doing some bigger events. So we do a lot of vintage market days events, and we have kind of a vintagey vibe as well. It's some of our look. It's something else that we're nerdish about. And so that's actually, for instance, in March, we have a show, Coastal Carolina Vintage Market Days. That's at Myrtle Beach. We do a show in Bristol, Tennessee. We're doing 2 shows one in Greensboro, one in Charlotte. So the more we've traveled, the more excited people are about our items and our storefront. We do have a website. It's nerd.com. And then we actually do sell here locally as well, in several spots. We also sell as a wholesaler. So if you see some of the packaging and it looks like ours, it just doesn't have our name on it, it's probably ours.
I know y'all have stuff up at the Welcome Center.
Yes, we have
here
our own
in Bedford.
shelf.
And I think the Bedford Welcome Center does a great job in highlighting our local artisans and crafters up there. So I'm going to do a quick, shout out to them because I think that they're fabulous. But one of the things too that I love about you is just how much you put into getting your name out. Like, I'm constantly getting tagged in things. And, I think it's great because you're telling us where you are. And that's so important for people to know, where they can find your items, especially because you don't have a set brick and mortar, storefront yet. I say yet.
Exactly.
But I think, I love your marketing. I think you do a fabulous job with that. Aside from just your jewelry in general. Because I love it. Now, quick question about, when did you say the March date was you're going to be in Myrtle Beach?
It's actually St. Patrick's Day weekend, so it's going to be 17th, 18th, and 19th.
I'm there the weekend before. Darn it. I was just thinking, I can go shop.
I know what you're doing on the 17th, and I'm really sad and disappointed that I won't be there.
Speaking
or
of
the 16th.
The 17th. It's on yes, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute because I did just confirm we're going to have a fabulous keynote speaker for that event, and I am so just excited. I can't even say, but I'll talk about that more. I know. I'm sorry.
I'll be
just rub it in her face a little more.
But I'll be at the beach.
Yeah. So see there, another group of mine that normally attends a lot of my stuff, Minnie's Travel Boutique, like her, they are going to be in Disney. So I'm like, wow, okay. Thanks a lot. I'll just come to Disney and you come to the event if you want. I'll switch with you. So,
I appreciate all the support that you have actually given my small business. In the last year, we've really transformed from just being kind of a local maker without a lot of personal direction. Where do I want to take this? I failed to mention that when I did the Gauntlet Small Business Program, Heather happened to be my mentor.
What? Oh, thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
But before I knew that, I had actually already joined the the Central Virginia Business Coalition, which is ironic and funny all at the same time. But it was the first business organization that I had joined, and I found that some of the other organizations, they can be intimidating to someone that doesn't have a storefront, and I tell people this all the time. Prior to doing the Gauntlet, I was too little to be big and too big to be small, and I wasn't really sure where that next step was going to come for me. So the Gauntlet kind of, and having mentors and having people to interact with really helped me figure out, and my plans have changed like 15 different times since then, and evolved as different areas of my business has grown. For instance, I never would have thought I'd be doing wholesale. I love spending time with my customers. I love being out in the public, and really the wholesale business has given me an opportunity to reach a lot of people that I hadn't been able to reach before. So that's what we're all about, is just bringing out that inner nerd and making people shine. But we love our relationship with Central Virginia Business Coalition, and the Gauntlet was an amazing program that did start yesterday. Last year I was one of the winners. Yep. I think I placed 4th maybe, but first in this area.
I was getting so excited because I'm like, yes, yes, she's getting closer. Like as they were counting down. And it was funny because I had quite a few members in the top 10. I would say we had about 7 or 8 of the top 10 were members had joined our organization. And I'm not saying that's why they won. They're fabulous in themselves. It had nothing to do with us. But like for me there though, to support them was awesome to see. But I was your mentor and I'm like, yes, she is 4th place. Woo! No, just kidding. But no, it was so exciting.
It was amazing. And I won $17,000, only $3,000 if that was in cash. The others were in-kind prizes. But if you talk to anyone that has been through the gauntlet, they will tell you, I would trade every last bit of the prizes for the relationships that I've built, the relationships that I continue to build through Gauntlet alumni, because it's just such a positive experience. They're all there to build you up.
Yep.
And the connections that you've made, and it just really is a great growing environment for people.
I can totally relate and agree to that, because even as someone who came in not as a Gauntlet participant, like I wasn't there to grow my business and like, actually do the competition. I was there more as a mentor or a table host at times and just there. But I built a lot of relationships with different businesses that were a part. Those that joined, even some that haven't joined, but are still just, I talk with them a lot. But, I had, Bonnie with Building Beloved Communities, and Kim with Elder Care Solutions, and Candace with Beaver Dam Sunflower Farm, and you, and I'm trying to think, there's so many off the top. Ryuga Casper, which, he is, God, that kid is just, there's so many things I can say about him. He's just phenomenal. But all of them, I still to this day, I have relationships with. We work together. A couple of them are now sponsors of our organization going into 2022, which to me just really solidifies, the kind of relationships we have built, and those that are members and continue to do that. And just, even the ones that I just go to lunch with sometimes, or you just see them out and we're at a vendor event and I say, hey, like, how's it going? What needs do you have right now? I think that's just, it's so nice to have relationships like that. And I think that's one thing people ask me, what sets the CVABC apart from other organizations. And I can honestly tell you it's the relationships, because
absolutely
we pride ourselves on those. My members are my friends. I try and make sure that I know what they need. I'm not sitting there just assuming they can come to me with stuff. We're not, like I said, we're not intimidating. If you had to come to me and say, hey, Heather, I don't like this, like, you can do it. And I'm not going to like cry. I'm not going to like, I'm not, what'd you say? Oh, I thought Autumn was like, yes, she is. I'm not going to cry.
That face said it all, Autumn.
But I think, but I do think that's one thing, aside from the fact that our main mission and focus is supporting local and small business. And you don't have a ton of large organizations or large businesses that are in there in suits and ties. And, I think it is intimidating to a small business when you come in, you're like, oh, here I am, small potatoes here in this big, huge barrel.
Yeah.
So
when you already don't feel, you're not sure what your place is yet.
Yeah.
I think that was what was the least intimidating to me was, just kind of easing in and saying, okay, I see what this can do for my business. And just that personal relationship, like looking at things sometimes critically, and just figuring out or helping figure out where this road is going to take me. And I'm excited. For the 11th and the 14th.
Yes.
I just want you to know that.
I am excited. So one thing that we are doing new this year is we are going to do pop-up shops each month, hopefully, in our office. So some of you may know we moved to a new office location back in October. So we're now in Forest, in the Forest Shopping Center, where Kroger is located on 221, across from Benjamin's. I think I told you Bull's Steakhouse, but I lied. It's across from Benjamin's. I don't know where I was getting that.
There's a plaza there too.
Yes, so we're right there beside Graziano's Pizza. It's dangerous to go there and eat pizza, but we now have an open storefront for people to actually come into our office and get business cards and flyers from our business members. And so we thought, hey, what a great idea, but to have pop-up shops for some of our members that don't, again, have a brick and mortar. So we decided, let's do our first one. So we're doing February, we're doing our Sweetheart pop-up shop. So if you're out there and you have a loved one, and I'm not saying guys, I'm saying anyone. If you have a loved one that you need to get something for last minute, or not even last minute, you want to go ahead and pre-order. And I think some of our vendors are actually allowing pickup that day at our office. We have 4 vendors that are going to be there, all kind of selling what you would normally go out and get if you were, running out to get something for your significant other, So we have, of course, Tamara is going to be there, and she's going to have her jewelry. So come out and get your loved one something nice.
Moms,
little bling.
wives, friends.
Yeah. Kids, yes. And then we have Petal Ridge Farms is going to be there. I don't know if anyone came to Centerfest. She was a huge hit at Centerfest. She just brings just baskets of flowers, and you create your own bouquets. And I think it's like $1 a flower. And she puts together some gorgeous, gorgeous things. So you can come and make your own bouquet, so you're not just getting something from the store. I think she's also going to have, I cannot pronounce, is it Hyacinthia?
Hyacinths?
Yeah, those. I want to say Hyacinthias, even there's no ia. And I don't know, just doesn't. So hyacinths, she's going to have those available as well.
And y'all, it's the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
When you say, I put this together for you.
Right.
It matters.
I agree. And then food. We have Mia's Sweet Shop will be there with her cheesecakes. She makes mini cheesecakes. They are delicious. And she's got a variety of different cheesecakes that she's going to have available. And we are going to have a Facebook event. You can find it online today. We're going to be putting it up. So it'll have links to each different businesses page where you can pre-order any of the items that you may want to just run by and pick up and have them have ready for you. So she'll have her different cheesecakes. And then Holy Heaven Cookie Company. If you have not had them, I'm telling you, she named that right. I'm here to tell you, I'm like, holy heaven, these cookies are great. But she makes jumbo stuffed cookies. Yes. And so my favorite one it's stuffed with an Oreo. And it's a chocolate chip cookie stuffed with an Oreo.
I haven't had that.
Oh, it's so good. But she's making these really gorgeous cookie cakes this year. Kind of like the ones you used to find in the mall, like the big cookie cakes. So she's going to have a big cookie cake shaped like a heart with the icing on top. So you can order one of those online at her shop too. So Friday before and then the day of Valentine's. You can come either of those days between like 10 and 6. We're giving them time to get there. It says 9 to 5, but we're going to give them time to get there at 9, get set up, and then stay a little bit later for those who get off from work and want to run by our office. And so you'll be able to find all that information online starting today. And so go ahead and make plans to just come out and grab your loved one something fabulous at the Sweetheart pop-up shop. So I'm going to come back to talk a little bit more about the gauntlet in just a few minutes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna switch over to I keep wanting to say Chief. I'm going to say Chief, but he's not Chief anymore. It makes me so sad. Has come in, and I'm not sure if you need to get back to the job or what you're doing today on your first day. Is today your first official day of retirement?
Second day of retirement.
Second day of retirement. So are you officially working yet?
Yes, I started working yesterday.
That doesn't sound like retirement to me there, Todd.
It's not much.
So I wanted to have you on for a couple of reasons. I had hoped to get you on before you left, but then things got crazy.
It's okay.
But I wanted to say thank you for everything that you have done for the town of Bedford, for the community, but definitely for us with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, because 3 or 4 years ago we started we had this crazy idea to take over
Centerfest, Christmas parades. And I won't be there to help you anymore.
Start a band fest. And I heard that you done put Shannon on me. Is he the new interim as well?
He's the interim right now, yes.
Oh, Shannon, I love you if you're listening. So I'm just put that out there. I get a good check mark in my
He's not a big
book.
podcast guy, so he's probably not listening.
No, he's probably not listening. Well, that's okay. He's probably also ready to tell me, like, I don't know, he wants to make changes and everything. But
he's ready to shut it down.
Yeah, but stepping into doing that 3 years ago, it was scary. I did have Diane with me,
yes.
and that was always helpful because she had run most of those things before. And for anyone who has listened to our past podcast, Diane was our director of events. And again, if she's listening, I still miss you, and you can come back anytime you want to. I keep telling her that like
That's
every
what they
month.
keep telling me at work. Too.
Yeah, I keep telling her that every month. Like, just Diane, whenever, just walk in. Just show up. You got a job. So, but you were always so willing to help us out, and I greatly appreciate that. So I want to thank you for your service and your time and everything that you've done.
Well, you're welcome. I was involved with 25 Centerfests
Good,
and
great.
25 Christmas parades.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here thinking I've done 4.
I didn't.
And I'm tired.
I didn't start. Probably in 2009 was when I really started working heavily with the Centerfest, other than being there. 2009, when I was made the operations lieutenant's when I really started helping manage them, and then in 2014 I was appointed chief, and that's when I was even more involved.
Okay, so that was going to be what I was going to ask you. Like, what other positions did you hold leading up to before you became chief? Because I didn't know how long you had been with the
I started
department.
in '96 as a patrol officer. Then I can't remember the exact date, but then I was made a community policing crime prevention officer, where I worked the evening shifts and worked with the public a lot. And then I went from there to a patrol sergeant. Then I went from patrol sergeant that was, I think, 2002. I made patrol sergeant. 2009, I was promoted to operations lieutenant, so I ran the operations of the police department. And then in 2014, I was appointed chief of police and retired in 2022.
Okay. I'm out.
And I'm still in the community. I still live nearby because I finished my meeting and drove across town so I could be here.
Yeah. So that was my. So where did you head? Where did you move over to? Like, where did you retire to?
I retired from the police department, and now I am working as a director of law enforcement outreach for the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries.
Okay.
It's a It's a membership organization for the trade of scrap recycling.
Oh wow. Okay. And they're located here?
No, they're in DC.
Okay. I have never heard of it.
It's an international company throughout the whole, so
Gotcha.
they've got members throughout the entire world. I've been on calls with people in Minnesota, Washington State, so all over the country. I work with them and work with their law enforcement. We'll help them with their legislation. I'm not a lobbyist. I don't do any of that. They've got people that do a great job with that. I just give them the law enforcement's view of it.
Okay. That's interesting.
And then I go and do some trainings and go to conferences, law enforcement conferences, that type of stuff.
You also did, and I can't remember, this has been years ago, but I do remember you did like the FBI Academy or something to that effect.
Yeah, I went to the FBI National Academy in 2009, March 2009, and finished it in June of 2009.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
It was a 10-week school. It is. There's not a lot of people that go to it. Actually, we have a deputy that's there right now.
Okay.
Shannon Zimmerman's in it right now. He's in the 281st session. They number the sessions because we only have about 250 people per session. I was in the 237th.
Okay.
Chief Day was in the 199th.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's really neat. I remember when somebody told me that's where you were. I was like, "What? He's at the FBI? Like that's pretty."
10
neat.
weeks in Quantico.
Wow, was it really difficult? I mean,
yeah, it's as hard as you make it, and you get out what you put into it, just like anything else. But you get UVA college credits for it, so you take college classes while you're there.
Well, I already love it.
Write papers, do that. Plus, also you have to exercise for the every day, every week. Every day you have PT in the mornings or the early afternoons.
And then you lost me.
I
loved it with the UVA that you exercise them out.
you finish with a 10K run through part of the Marine Corps' confidence course. So you run a 5K through the confidence course, and you run 5K back to where you. So that's how you finish it, and they call that the yellow brick. It's the yellow brick road.
So then my question is which was harder, the FBI Academy or filming your music video for the police, the Town of Bedford Police Challenge, the lip sync challenge?
I liked doing the FBI National Academy. Obviously, I looked really uncomfortable in the lip sync thing. And so I was talked into it. I was very uncomfortable with it because I have no rhythm. And you could see it in it.
Well,
have you watched the video?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say, though, I think it was like a good month or so. That's all I did was watch lip sync
laugh at me.
videos. Well, not just you, just like everybody. Like, just I've looked up lip sync videos for. I thought that was that was awesome. I thought that was just so great to see. And the ones from around here, like yours, Roanoke's was really good. I think was it Roanoke? Yeah, it was Roanoke's. I loved
The
Roanoke's.
best one was Norfolk.
Oh, Norfolk, hands
Yeah.
down, was definitely
They
the best.
actually got recognized nationally for theirs.
That
but
was good.
It all goes by money too, and who you can pay to do it. If we would have had Watch Creative Studios back when we did that,
Yeah, where was old Woody during that time period?
we might have been able to produce a better video at that time. With we had a really good person do the video.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk bad about the person.
Yeah.
The person I'm talking about the creative side, about writing the script and that
Gotcha.
kind of stuff. Because my staff did a great job, but it was us doing it, not somebody that
Like a creative
not
director.
not a person who's
Right.
does it normally.
Woody would have had
I'm
y'all
not
dancing
cracking
with
on anybody
Bigfoot or
that did it,
something.
because they all did a great. Yeah, he would have.
I just see like Bigfoot running around
He would at least had Bigfoot in the background.
That's right.
dancing.
And some UFOs in the sky. It would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah. Poor old town of Bedford would have been under attack. All the-
Next time. Next
Woody-
one.
That's
The
great.
next one.
All I'm saying is Woody would have probably hired a choreographic person to choreograph the whole
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
instead of
Yep.
us trying to do it all on our own. Which, like I said, our staff did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
The people who worked here that worked on it did a great job, and the video team did a great job. I didn't do such a great job.
I don't
But-
dance. I mean, when I do, it's probably. Oh, see, Autumn gave me a look again. It's not.
She
It's
did.
kind of scary. I remember once though.
You must
so-
dance as well as I do.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, we did.
Oh.
When y'all do the national night out,
Yes.
like when y'all
Mhm.
used to shut down Bridge Street and have all the vendor booths and
We
things.
did it on Washington Street
Was-
this past year.
Yes, you did. And that was really nice too. I didn't get to that until like closer to the end. A lot of stuff had kind of started closing up. But I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago when it was on Bridge Street and Jonathan Hayden was DJing. And they started doing like all the electric slide and all that stuff. So I'll go out there and make a fool of myself and dance. But I remember like the next day, I told Diane I couldn't even sit down. I was like, why am I so sore?
I got pulled out into those two a few times where I didn't look very good.
She said, do you want me to show you the video? 'Cause she videoed me dancing.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no, that's okay. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. But those are the kind of things like I think the town of Bedford is very what's the word? Lucky that they have a police department that is very involved. Like you and you guys are very involved in doing things like that, the National Night Out, and just being a part of the events that we have even had with support and things like that. And maybe it's because we're a small town, but I think that it's definitely something that I think some people take for granted.
I think we've got the officers that want to be involved. We've got the best officers, and I'm not part of the department anymore, so I can say it. We've got the best officers around in our police department, and they do a lot of good work. We've worked on the movie nights where we've showed movies with our Crime Prevention Coalition Council. We've showed movies at night. They've had the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. So we've had officers involved in all these different things with our kids. Cop Shop with Cop,
Yes.
the Christmas Station, all these different things to where we're interacting with the kids, because the kids are who we can make the biggest impact on their lives. Because they see sometimes when we are there at their house, where they see us at the worst times when we're arresting their parents or something bad's happened at their home. And we want them to see us in another light too, to where they know that we're there to help them, and we're there for them. So that's what the department's worked on in the past, and I'm sure it's going to continue that direction.
That's what I think too. Yeah, like what you just said is important, because I think police officers get a bad rap. That's what the people. Oh, they just arrested, and I'm not even talking about here. I'm talking about all over. You see it all over.
Yeah.
With different things, and I think people, if we focused a little bit more on the good that they do too. I mean, I'm not saying.
Well,
I think
that's why firefighters are always heroes, because they're always there to rescue and put out the fire.
Yeah.
And they're not there to take somebody to
They're
jail.
not starting the fires.
Write somebody a speeding ticket. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
So, even though they sleep until they're hungry and eat until they're sleepy, and all my firefighter friends get to hear me say that again.
I'm an upcycle jewelry maker now.
She's like, you're not hurting my feelings.
It's true.
I say-
It's all true. We got paid for what we have the potential to do.
Yes.
I like it.
They sleep until they're hungry and sleep until they're or eat until they're sleepy, unless they're playing video games.
No video games, but I worked at a busy station.
I have friends that are fire chiefs, and also they always give me jokes about eating donuts, but everybody loves a donut.
I was going to say the thoughts and comments of the guests on Talk Local to Me are in no way affiliated with the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
The
Heather Alto or
the firefighters all know me, and they know I say this to them, and they can give me the hard time back. It's good fun.
Todd and I have known each other for
Yes,
years.
so I got to throw that. That's why I'm throwing the firefighter stuff in there.
well, and you have people that they do all these like different, days, and they want to give back, and they thank you for your service and all this stuff. But like, I think some people don't realize what all goes into, whether it's, being a police or firefighter or paramedic or, any of those sorts of fields. Not just what but like you were talking about with PTSD, the things that you guys have to see and endure as well, outside of, then having to worry about other people, because you have to set aside what you're feeling at the time to deal with other things.
And I haven't tracked firefighters or EMTs or any of those sides, but the law enforcement side, suicides have been skyrocketing on law enforcement officers because of the things they see and the things that happen to them. So
and the pressures.
Yeah, and the pressures, and then and then who do they talk to about it, and where do you go? Because police officers, there's a culture, and that we're trying to break that culture. But if you talk about things, then you're seen as weak, and that's the what they see. It's not necessarily true, but then they don't talk to anybody because they don't want to see anybody to see that side of them. So then they end up holding it all in.
Right.
And I've done that myself, so I can't say a lot.
And we had a few, I think it was like maybe a month or so ago, we had Sarah Smith. I think they started something here for kind of like grief counseling for police. I've
got one of them as a chaplain. I'm not sure.
Yes, I think it's her husband that's doing
Mike
it.
Smith
Mike
is a
Smith,
chaplain at the police department. Yes, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
They've got a Facebook page called Covered.
Yes, that's it. Covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was on a few months ago talking about that program. So where does it go from here? Do they? I know the town of police, the chief is not an elected official, so that's you just apply for it.
Yeah, I used to say the chief is elected every day because they can come and tell you to leave that morning if they don't like what you're doing. So, sheriff's elected every 4 years. The chief, you're elected every morning when you come in, making sure everybody's still happy with what you're doing. So, but what they do now is they've advertised it, and we've advertised it. Well, I say that now. They've advertised it in at least some of the major locations: the International Association of Chiefs of Police, Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, the CLIA, which is the accreditation national accreditation we received. We advertised it on their website, and then the Police Executive Research Forum, where I just went to a school a while back, which is a good leadership school there that we'd like to see people go. We've advertised it on theirs too. So
y'all do get a lot of candidates from out of town and out
We've
of state?
had some from, I think they've already got some from out of state. And we'll get definitely from out of town, of course, because we'll have probably some within the department that apply.
Okay.
And then they'll have some from without that apply.
Okay.
They just, you advertised when I was appointed, I'd applied, but there were people from North Carolina, Alabama, Northern Virginia, and there was at least 2 others that interviewed at the same time I did before they made the selection of me. So it's a competition to make sure you get the best person for the job, that you get the best fit for the department. Yeah.
And I guess for the town, I'm all about supporting local. So if we have local, people, I'd like to vote. No, go ahead.
It's not a vote though.
Yeah, I know.
It's chosen by the town. The person's chosen by the town manager, and so it all lies on him. So it's a lot of pressure on him. He's got 2 big positions he's working on filling right now, because the assistant town manager, director of finance, left about a month before I did.
Sonia.
Yes.
I'm so sad. See, y'all are making me sad over there. Next thing, if somebody says something about DW, I'm out.
I don't think
Public
DW
Works is not allowed.
I don't think DW
listening.
is going anywhere.
You're never allowed.
Now
to
DW
leave.
may be listening because he does listen to podcasts.
Yeah, never allowed to leave. No.
Sonia is now in Jasper, Georgia, as a city manager there. So
yeah, I liked Sonia a lot. I'm sad to see her go, but I think that too. That speaks to, again, the different, like the heads and the way that in the town of Bedford, all the department heads and stuff, they do honestly work with organizations and people to where it's not like, oh, I just got to call the finance chair. It's I need to talk to Sonia because I know her and I'm going to work with her. And I think that's just one of the best things about being part of a small town.
Yeah. And I think, and I'll say this just so everybody knows, I think it speaks highly of the town manager and the town that people are not leaving just to leave. I left to go to a different career, a different area, which is, it's good for me. And Sonia left to go to the city manager, so she basically got a promotion up within her career. So it says something about the leadership that they're bringing in to the town and the abilities to training and the things that they do for everyone to get you there.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to ask you too, cop camp. I want to bring up cop camp because I think, for one, I love cop camp.
Me too.
So so Autumn, how old are you now?
I am 23.
23, and you went to cop camp
every year I could.
So
and I loved it.
Yeah. How long has cop camp been going on?
Probably close to 22 years, I think.
Yep.
Sergeant Monk is the one that started cop camp.
Yes.
Sergeant Monk started. He wasn't a sergeant when he started it. He was a SRO, but he started cop camp, and so it's been 23 years or somewhere in that area, and then it's evolved now over the years. We've built partnerships and relationships. So now, this past year, all the kids went to Thomas Road Outpost on top of the mountain here in Bedford.
My youngest got to participate this past year. She loves it. She cannot wait for next year.
Yeah, so they have a lot of fun up there because we had seen that there were a lot of repeat activities, and kids were getting tired of the repeat activities. So we wanted to upgrade it. So 2 years ago, the pre-pandemic, we went to up the outpost for one day, and then we built a partnership to where we could go up there for the entire week. So they should be saving another week for us this next year, or for the police department next year. I won't be there. It's hard for me not to say us.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but they usually... It's kind of one of those things, like when you hear that signups are starting, you better be in like that day or it's sold out.
Yeah, this last year we didn't have quite that just because of pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
I think people were still worried about all the kids being together. But that's one of the reasons we did it up there, because they did take a bus ride up. But once they were there, they were outside the whole time.
Right.
So it was in outdoor activities all over, zip lines, all kinds of fun stuff, confidence courses, and then the activities with police officers.
Yeah.
And then we have Lynchburg Police have been sending people to help us with it too now. So.
Oh, good. Well, I remember like when I told Riley I had signed her up, at first she was like, what? Like she had never heard of it before. And I was like, your brother and your sister both did it and they loved it. And she was just like, oh, but first day she was hooked. She was excited about it. She came home like just ready to tell me everything they had done. And I knew she was going to love it once she got up there.
It's definitely changed since I went through it. So
yes, it has.
Yeah. Because y'all just did it at Bedford Middle School, right?
Yeah. The old Bedford Middle School is when I was still doing it.
Yeah.
What years did you do it?
I don't even know. Oh, Lord.
God, how old are you?
I'm 23, so yeah.
So it had been 9 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did as long as
that'd
I
been
could.
the last one you would have been done. So
yeah.
What would that have been? 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were from 2009 till 2011, I was involved pretty heavily with it.
Yeah.
She was there, because you did, you did it for like 3 years, I think.
3 or 4 years, because I did it with Sergeant Monk's daughter.
Yep.
Brianna, yeah.
Brianna. So me and Brianna and
But you didn't come back and be a counselor?
No.
I thought about it, but then I don't know what happened.
Because we paid people to be counselors.
I should have. Because I did.
But you didn't know they paid you, did you? She's like, no,
probably not.
I
don't know. I think I got really big into sports, and that's probably what threw me off.
Yeah.
But
But we do pay counselors, but we don't have to pay as many now because Thomas Road Outpost actually provides counselors.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really is helping save the town money by partnering with them.
Yeah.
And giving the kids a really fun experience. I'll tell you a real quick story. I know you're going to kick me off here in a minute.
No, you're good.
But
until Woody starts playing the music.
For the last 2 years ago when we were up there was a little girl sitting there looking nervous, and I went over and talked to her. And when I was talking to her, I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Well, I've never been this far out in the woods before." And I was like, "Where do you live?" And she lived right here in the middle of town. But she'd never been in the woods before, so it was a brand new experience for her being up there. It is pretty far out there in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, the outpost is pretty far out there, but it's no different than hiking to Sharp Top or to Flat Top or doing any of the walks up there around the peaks.
Yeah, I think that
But you got to
that
be an
program
outdoor
is
person.
something so different. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know of any other place around here that does that. So,
Salem did an overnight camp for a little while. I
Yeah.
don't know if they still do it or if
Okay.
they've done it in a while, but this one's been has lasted. It's been a great program that Sergeant Monk started, and it's lasted for a long time.
speaking of Sergeant Monk, y'all got to stop playing those like when y'all sign off from
They're
your
so
shift.
sad.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Cried watching Sergeant Monk sign off
I
for the
did.
last time. Did you?
I did, I think,
So
just
it makes me
because
so
I've
sad.
known him for a long time.
So-
and I was
Yeah,
friends with
I
his
didn't
daughter
do
for a
that.
while. So
Yeah.
it was very emotional.
Again, that speaks very highly to you. Like, I'm sitting here crying over your deputy, like you're signing off at night. And I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't do the sign off thing. I
Yeah.
just didn't. I wasn't comfortable with it because
yeah. Well,
I'm not an emotional guy. My wife says I'm not emotional at all. So
I mean, if you want, you can sign off from here. I'm signing off.
I could have done
I'm
that.
retired already.
I should have done that on the podcast, the Cop Talk podcast.
Yes.
Y'all need to, everybody still needs to keep listening to it.
Yes, I was getting ready to say before I switch back over to ask Tamara about the gauntlet. Tell us about the cop talk.
The podcast
Yeah.
is still going. It's run by, and I don't know if they came today.
They did.
They
Okay.
did. We saw them in the parking
all
lot.
right. So I had Sergeant Dooley and Lieutenant Kimbrell still running it, and I told them last week because we are that is the most subscribed to podcast on Watts Creative Studios.
What? We're gonna have a talk after the show.
I did tell them that if it started to drop off, I would come back and rescue the podcast for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Woody was here to hear me say that.
Yep.
I probably said it more than one time.
Yep.
But but it is still going, and everybody needs to go to it. It's on go to any podcast location and go to coptalkpodcast.com.
Yep.
Subscribe, listen, and review.
Awesome. And speaking of other, Woody,
Yes.
tell everyone really quick about your new. I guess it's not really new, but the Why So Cold
Oh
podcast.
yes. Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna let you pitch that real quick
Yeah.
too.
All right, real quick. It's a cold case per week show. I did one episode several years ago. Then business just picked up, and then a couple months ago, I wanted to kind of dive back into something. And I like podcasting is a platform. So I was like, well, what can I do? I want to do something good and help and be creative at the same time. And so yeah, we cover a case every week and just kind of talk about the details of the case and hopefully just keep them alive because these cases happen in like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they tend to be forgotten. So this is a podcast that will hopefully just keep them alive. Hopefully they get that, the people will remember something, have a tip, call in, just anything. So yeah, thank you. Why So Cold?
Yeah, I listened to all of them, like binge listened to every one
Did
of them.
you hear my voice at the beginning of them?
Yes, I did. Well, I didn't know that was your voice, but I did. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, the one about Heidi Childs,
Yes.
that one really hit home for me because her mother, when I was working at the time, I was working with foster care. I was working for Bedford County Social Services, and she was a counselor.
Mm.
And I just remember when that happened, like I just couldn't imagine, it was
It's
heartbreaking.
The episodes they follow a different format. If I can find press releases or actually interview family members, I put them in the episode. If not, we just kind of go over the information. The ones that have sound bites from the parents always get me while I'm editing. Every case, the Route 29 Stalker one and several other ones, the parents do an interview and it's heartbreaking. And that's one of the reasons that I like doing that podcast is to, again, just keep the case alive because the parents every year on an anniversary, they usually put out a call of tips and, just the least I could do is just have a podcast. So
Now that I'm retired, I can come out and help Woody on it.
that's right.
And give him the other
We're going to
viewpoint.
investigate. We're going to solve these things.
I don't know about solving them.
We'll keep them alive. We'll keep the case
I
alive.
can add my viewpoint.
There we go.
So I was laughing because there was another podcast, Cool Talk, that comes on before me with
Yeah.
Brandon. See, I'm hitting up all of them today, but they were discussing the Why So Cold. I was listening to the podcast, and so he was like, "How?" Like he said, "Why?" He said, "Why so cold?" I texted Brandon. I said, "Because it's winter, dummy." and then
Stupid.
then he got
Woody.
into the actual reasoning, and I was like,
Didn't he have heat installed? Why
right.
is he so cold?
am I really going to come film this afternoon? Because I don't know. Is it cold in there? But anyway. Well, Todd, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for everything you've done for us, for the community. And I wish you the best going forward. And I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yeah, I'll be around town. Thank you.
Awesome. And then tomorrow, real quick, I know we got into all kinds of stuff, but you know, we talked a little bit about the gauntlet, but I know you're going back more in sort of mentor role this year, sort of an advisory capacity. So do you know, can businesses still sign up for the gauntlet, or is that closed?
So I actually have sent a message this morning to see if there are still openings. I haven't, as of the time we started airing, I haven't heard anything back yet. But you never know. Even if it's just, asking questions about it, or talking to people that are going through it. It's definitely something that is worth investigating. Someone asked me the other day, why should I do this? Like, I just really don't know. And I talked about this in another interview. Small business owners are everything to their business. You told me, you're like, I really like the job you do with marketing. I literally wear all the hats, I'm the marketing director. I'm the business manager. I'm the product creator. I'm the mail delivery person most of the time. And so you don't have enough time in a day to do that. Why add something extra to your plate? And for me, you get out of it what you put into it. There are some businesses that, even if they just had an idea, and so if it's too late for this year, be thinking about it for next year. I talked to a lot of small businesses, because it really, even if you're a nonprofit, by the way, they have funds available for you as well. But just sitting down and taking time to do the things that you just keep putting off.
Right.
Like in my head, I thought I had my business plan. We all know that I was at the very last minute.
You're like, I think I'm changing it.
I'm changing it. Like, did you get that email? It's supposed to be turned in like 25 minutes. And you're like, I'll take a look. Because even at the very last minute, it was just, I've had this idea. This is how I really feel about something. And this is what I'm going to commit myself to. And so by having it down on paper, for me, it's like, once it's on paper, it's official, and I got to go with it, at least for a little while, to see if it works. And so by putting it on paper, it kind of made things a little bit more real for me. Okay, these are really the things that I need to do. Right. I can't just keep pushing these off to the side while I'm putting out the small fires of everyday small business life. So, and it helped me identify needs and things that you never really, things that you don't know you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that right there kind of leads me into a short segue into our speaker for our annual business awards that we're doing in March. So normally our annual business awards, we hold them as a luncheon. We've moved it to a dinner this year. And normally about 20 to 30 minutes of that is spent me talking about like everything CVABC's done in the past year. And, okay, great. I think people are tired of hearing me talk. You can hear me on, Talk Local to Me if you'd like to do that. So I decided this year I really wanted to bring in a keynote speaker. I wanted to bring someone that would just come in and uplift our members, give them something to think about, just, moving into the year. So about a year ago, I read a book called Because I Said I Would. And it is by an author. His name is Alex Sheen. He's a young man who started basically a movement and wrote a book. And the whole thing behind it is his father died from lung cancer. And when he had to do his father's eulogy, he decided that his father wasn't anything. And he has a YouTube video about it. Like, his father wasn't anything special. He wasn't somebody that was, wealthy or, had created anything or, anything like that. But what he did do was he kept his promises to himself, to others. And part of that was he started these promise cards that say, you write on them, I'm going to create my business plan today because I said I would. And it made you accountable and like different things. I'm going to stop smoking because I said I would. There were some in the book, like some of the book was just, he put like some of the promise cards that people had sent him back in. And, one was like, I haven't self-harmed myself in a month because I said I would. Like small, like things like that's not small, but things like that. And so he's started this mission, and since since 2012, he's already sent out 3.15 million promise cards to anyone who asks. So anyone who asks for him, he sends 10 of them out free of charge. He just sends them so that they have them. But he's also become a TED Talk speaker, a motivational speaker, and he is coming to Lynchburg, on March 17th, and he will be the keynote speaker for our event. And he's going to be talking about the importance of promises made and kept, and whether it's in your personal life, whether it's your business, whether it's just, you said you were going to do this. So one of the things on his video that really caught me was, he said people are sitting around talking about, you need a miracle for this. We need a cure for this. We just need people to do what they say they're going to do and do it and be accountable. And that's what people need right now. And so I have never been so excited. And maybe it's just because I've read his book, and I just, and the other cool thing about him was a lot of speakers, like these big speakers, you have to go through like speaker bureaus and stuff. And you don't really talk to the speaker. You talk to like their agents and whatever. When I reached out to, because I said I would, I had a Zoom meeting with Alex, like him and I. It was not me and him and his, it wasn't his agent that did this. It was him. Like he came on with me. We talked over all the, the ins and outs of having him come. And it was just really nice. So I encourage anyone that's listening to look up Because I Said I Would, whether it's because you want to come here and speak here at our event on the 17th, which tickets are going to be available. They are available now for $55. And that includes your dinner, and it's going to be at West Manor Estate in Forest. So really nice location, nice venue, great speaker, and we'll be giving out our business awards. But, look him up just for the sole purpose of learning more about Because I Said I Would. Learning more about how you can create a promise, keep a promise, stick to it, and better, ourselves, their community, and everyone around you. So with that being said, thank you, Tamara, for coming on Talk Local to Me. And we will see you next week. We have actually Brandon Brown with our Brown's Heating and Air from our Cool Talk podcast will be on, as well as the guys from Perimeter Roofing. We're going to be talking about how to make sure your home is looking great for the spring.